How's it going, everyone? In this video, I want to talk about rumors circulating about potentially a new State of Play broadcast happening on August the 19th. Some rumblings going on about that. I would expect a State of Play relatively soon, but we'll cover the notes on that. From Software is rumored to be working on a brand new PlayStation 5 exclusive, not Bloodborne 2, but that is something to cover as well. An abandoned real-time experience, the app that was supposed to drop yesterday, has been delayed due to technical issues. We'll talk that in just a little bit. But first of all, Sony is set to host a brand new State of Play broadcast on August 19th, according to Future Game Show producer James Jarvis, where rumors are circulating. Bear in mind that at this stage of the game, this is still rumor and speculation, and it was rumored to be announced yesterday, but obviously that didn't happen. I would imagine that Sony is gearing up for a State of Play very soon, because while the fall is still very, very dry in terms of new PlayStation games, with Horizon expected to be delayed, you still need to get the ball rolling on what the word is. I mean, you need to officially announce Horizon's delay if that's happening. I mean, we had the word coming from very reputable sources that it was delayed and it will be coming out in 2022, but there has been no official confirmation from Sony. But even from the get-go, back in June, when Herman Hulse noted that Horizon, we're hoping for 2021, but we're not ready to say anything and things are always in flux. And right when Herman Hulse said that, and I said that in videos back in June, I immediately was like, yo, that's a giant red flag. I don't think this game is going to be 2021. Even for a little bit, I did still have my hopes that it would be 21, but I was getting very, very skeptical, because now we're in August and the game does not have an official release date. And at that point, yeah, it's fine if you're a smaller release that's not going to have a release date in the month of August for the rest of the year. But by now, the major titles should have their release dates. I know we're still in this pandemic era where things are constantly shifting and, release dates are always in flux and games are being delayed 3 weeks before they come out or whatever the case may be. But yeah, Horizon is just something I don't expect to see this year anymore. But yeah, a little bit of a bummer, but hopefully they get it good and cooking for early 2022. Kind of wild that from the development time and the release time, I should say, of Horizon Forbidden West to Horizon 2, it's going to be 5 years. I mean, these development cycles for these games are getting gargantuan. They're getting very, very long, and I get these games are getting bigger and bigger, but man, I remember the days of like 2009 and 2007 where like Insomniac and Naughty Dog would put out a game like an Uncharted or a Ratchet & Clank, and 2 years later, they'd be releasing the sequel. That literally happened from 2007 to 2009, where both in 2007, both Ratchet & Clank Future Tools of Destruction and Uncharted 1 came out. 2009, they were right back at it with Uncharted 2 and Ratchet & Clank Future Crack in Time. Nowadays, that development cycle has expanded so much. We're talking 4 to 5 years for the majority of developers to get these games out. Insomniac still has a pretty good turnaround rate. I mean, in the last 3 years, you gotta look at Insomniac. They've put out Spider-Man Miles Morales, and Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, so they're pretty consistent, but Insomniac's also a huge studio. In the case of, like, Naughty Dog, it was 2016 for Uncharted 4, and then 2020 for Last of Us Part 2, so their development cycle is expanding. Sucker Punch, same thing. Infamous Second Son 2014, Ghost of Tsushima 2020, 6-year window, so kind of wild when you think about it from that standpoint. But again, as I mentioned, these games are getting bigger and bigger, and the production values are getting bigger and bigger. So if we assume Horizon is delayed until 2022, really the major, I guess, console exclusive you're looking at for the year is Kena Bridge of Spirits, which that game looks okay, but I don't think that's going to be something that people really are going to sink their teeth into. Hopefully, this means if Horizon is delayed, that sets up 2022 to be pretty remarkable in the sense of us getting Final Fantasy XVI, Horizon, and God of War all in the same year. Honestly, I'm still a little bit skeptical that God of War is going to be in 2022. That was scheduled for 2021, and I still don't believe that that's going to be 2022, but you know what? That probably has a pretty decent chance. But we'll see how that turns out. Alright, speaking of surprise announcements, rumor has it that From Software is working on a Souls-like PlayStation exclusive, but it's not Bloodborne 2. Now, this is coming from Hazardor Gaming over on Twitter, who did out the Ghost of Tsushima Iki Island DLC, so pretty reputable as far as that's concerned. But rumor has it Sony State of Play show around August 19th, also From Software making Souls-like exclusive for PlayStation, not Bloodborne 2. This comes from the same source who revealed Ghost of Tsushima Iki Island DLC via Dealer Gaming. I fully expect that From Software at some point is going to be making a PlayStation exclusive, especially because you would have to think that Elden Ring is wrapping up, and I think after Elden Ring, whatever they put out next is going to be an exclusive exclusive for PlayStation. It seems like they have a pretty good relationship. While Sony doesn't outright own From Software, of course, From Software is kind of a hired gun, so to speak. They've done games for Bandai Namco, they've done games for Activision, they've done games for Sony as well. They kind of just go around and do what they want to do, and that's kind of cool from them, and their games have become incredibly successful, so I think them kind of staying with that path and just trying to get the biggest amount of resources they can, I think that makes a lot of sense. But we'll see how that turns out. You know, that's something that's very early. I know a lot of people want Bloodborne 2. I definitely want Bloodborne 2. I often talk about how Bloodborne is my favorite game that From Software has ever put out, and that still holds true. Maybe Elden Ring will lap that, we'll see, but Bloodborne 2 is definitely something I want to see, but at this point, it seems kind of unlikely. At the very least, hopefully, we do get a Bloodborne upgrade on PlayStation 5. That would be quite nice, but we'll see if that comes to fruition. And lastly, man, this has been the talk of the gaming world over the last 24 hours. Abandoned real-time experience app. That was supposed to drop yesterday, 3 p.m. Eastern, and then I guess some technical issues hit, and then it ended up getting delayed. I figured it would still be out by the end of the day. Still not out at this point, so we'll see what is happening. They did note, quick update, we're still working on it. We sincerely apologize for the inconvenience. At this point, nothing has come out, and we still don't know what this is. Obviously, I mean, they're egging it on like it's something more than what we initially saw with Abandon. I know a lot of people are thinking, hey, this is going to be a meme, it's not going to be something that it is actually, you know, going to be something we're going to sink our teeth into, but I just find it so strange because I saw Shuhei Yoshida pointed attention to this real-time experience app, and then Blue Box themselves put out this little video where it kind of looked like a Silent Hill camera angle. I don't know, but they're definitely playing up that it's something more than just, you know, a meme horror game or an indie horror game, but we'll see how it turns out. And again, Blue Box isn't somebody that we know, and let's just say in a hypothetical world, it was Kojima. We saw what Kojima did with Metal Gear Solid 5, you know, how he did the thing with Moby Dick Studios and all that. He would take it one step further. If he wanted to fool the gaming press and everybody following gaming news, he would take it one step further and take every means possible to really trick people and get people on this hunt to find out what, you know, this mystery game is, if that was the case. Do I think that's the case? Honestly, I'm starting to think it's kind of unlikely. It's an interesting story to follow, and I think, you know, come next year, come 10 years down the line, it's something we're going to be talking about, how this happened, how it, you know, snowballed out of control, but we'll see. You know, hopefully by the end of today, we hear something about this game. You know, I don't think it's Silent Hill, I don't think it's something major, but you would think that, hey, if Sony's delaying Horizon, you would think that in the back of their mind, they would be like, we got something else major for the fall, and I don't think Kena Bridge of Spirits fits that bill. Look, the game looks good, but that's not going to be something that gets a lot of buzz. If they had a Silent Hill randomly under their sleeves and it comes out this fall, that'd be massive. But also, that would be a very, very quick turnaround. I mean, a game being revealed and then coming out later in the year, that seems a little bit unlikely to me, and that's why I just don't think it's going to be this major thing. But I see a lot of buzz for it on social media, so hopefully by the end of today, or at the very least end of this week, we really know what's going on with Abandon. But that's going to wrap up this video. Again, rumor has it a new State of Play event is due out for August 19th. We'll see if that comes to fruition. From Software is reportedly working on a brand new PlayStation exclusive. I imagine that would be pretty deep into, you know, like 2023, given that Elden Ring is going to be January of 2022, and honestly, press X to doubt on that January release date. I don't know. Abandoned real-time experience app has gotten a delay. Hopefully we hear more about that soon. That's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.